The first thing I wanted to focus on was now we're in the off season. Right, obviously a big part, probably the time where people can make the most progress in their body. So how do you kind of structure that for a player, and how do you set the goals for them?
All right, so the biggest thing that I see when people get into the off season happens pretty much with everyone going from high school into the men's league stuff is they have mates who do bodybuilding style training and they start training like a bodybuilder and they start trying to put on mass. As a basketball player, you are not specifically a bodybuilder. You should be training specifically for power and agility to make you better at basketball, not to get a bit of some bigger arms or whatever, right? So what I actually do is I focus on getting our nutrition and our sleep right.
Yeah.
So right after the season finishes, a lot of people jump straight into training where we need a process of recovery because we've just done a full season of really hard work training twice a week, big games. Some high school players even play twice a week on top of all of their trainings. So nutrition and recovery process, developing good habits going into like that men's league stuff when you're out of high school is really important to focus on first, so we don't chuck everything all at once, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So from your nutrition and stuff, we'll probably do that for three or so weeks just to get us like recovered, ready to go into the new season. And then we get into our strength development work. So we do what's called a GPP a lot of the time, which is a general preparedness program, because we're not usually used to training like an athlete with all the power work that we do and all of the specific strength stuff we do. So we get a specialized program to prepare us to go into that style of training. That can take 4 to 6 weeks as well. And then we go into our agility stuff. Then we go into our strength stuff. And then we start to get powerful, jump fast, jump high, run fast, going into the next season, basically. Does that make sense?
I like that. I like the spending that first 3 weeks on nutrition because I suppose, again, we're talking about off season where you can make you can change your weight and you can get to where you need to. If you spin and create that momentum into, okay, you need to gain 3 kgs because you're small, you need to lose some and recomp. So that's really cool. In the off season, there's often no competition. Sometimes there's other tournaments on. How do you make sure that the athletes' kind of mentality is still there and still pushing them to get better?
Yeah, so mentally preparing for a season is quite difficult when you don't have your regular games or what have you. So I've actually implemented skill development sessions that I try to run with people so that we have at least some sort of fostered competition in the off season. I also encourage people to continue playing social league stuff just to keep on top of your game, practice and shots. The biggest thing I've found that actually helps the impact of like confidence going into the next season is finding someone to do one-on-one style drills with. So one-on-one by itself isn't inherently great for 5-on-5 basketball. I'm sure you understand that too. But I've specialized specific drills to make it 5-on-5 styled play. So we'll have like cones set up where you're already going downhill, so you beat your first defender, and now you're one-on-one with help defense going towards the basket. Or we do like 3 dribbles, you have to put up a 3-point shot off dribble where the defender is starting from a cone, maybe 2 meters to the left. So you already have an advantage taking him on. So I think one-on-one drill stuff where you're actually fostering small competition, but you're simulating a 5-on-5 game will help a lot with the going into the next season, especially with the type of shots you take. We're not all spot-up shooters, right? So some of us have to take shots off dribble, and you need to practice it that way.
Yeah, I like that definition. You can see some people when they think of playing one-on-one, it's just like, street style, unlimited dribbles, play to 21. Whereas if you can put them in the game situations, limit it by situation time, dribbles, like it creates the mindset to get an efficient shot quickly. So I really like that. Now, when you're working with a player and you're trying to figure out their direction, whether that's in the basketball or their body, is that more you or you letting them identify themselves?
I always let them play. So the worst thing I find coaches do is put someone in a fucking barrier, basically, where they say, you're this type of player, you have to play this type of way. if you foster where you had your athletes playing how they want to play and just make them really damn good at it, they're going to both enjoy the game and go to that specific position all the time because that's the position they want to be in. If you tell them you have to set and roll, and they want to shoot threes off dribble, they're going to try and find a way to shoot threes. They'll start setting screens and popping, you know. So just find what that player enjoys doing and make that great, and then we can work on what we call the ceiling afterwards.
Yeah. Now, one massive thing you talked about before is recovery. What are the first kind of focuses when you're bringing a raw athlete in to make sure, to take them to the next step?
Sleep. So, is trying to get to that pro level, don't sleep enough. We're staying up, and then we do sleep as bad sleep. So get off your phone, put it in another room or charge it across the room from you. Get 9 hours sleep. A lot of people say 7 to 8, but like if you're an athlete and you're doing high intensity work all the time, you need a longer recovery period in bed. Get blackout curtains so that you don't get woken up by sunlight in the morning. Hydrate when you wake up. So if you don't hydrate properly and you go straight into a coffee, you can feel really groggy. So it's good to get up, get into sunlight, and hydrate as soon as you get up. And then supplementation, so magnesium tablets, maybe ashwagandha, if you have naturally high stress levels, can help you get to sleep a lot better too. But recovery process is always going to be sleep. If you don't have that ticked, stop looking at other recovery style stuff like, I need to go for an active run, I need to do all this stuff, where you're not even getting 9 hours sleep yet. Make that your priority.
I like that. And you mentioned the phone, so I'm curious of your perspective. Do you see a benefit in people like spending less time on their phone? Like if you're a high performance athlete, do you encourage them to get off their phone not just before night but during the day?
Yeah, so well, it depends on what you're doing during the day, right? If you're a high performance athlete and you have a full-time job, you're not going to have very much time to be on your phone anyways. And I do think being able to finish off your work and have time to kind of settle down and let your nervous system relax is important. And a lot of time people find that by scrolling through reels. So there is a really good place for scrolling through reels to help you relax at night. But in saying that, if it's making you stay up until 11 because you can't get off your phone from scrolling reels, that's an addiction problem, right? So you really need to kick that in the butt and get rid of it at that point.
Yeah, fair enough.